Welcome to the Ports and Shipping News from Visakhapatnam. Deendayal Port Authority scraps cargo handling tender after Adani Ports emerged lone bidder. Deendayal Port, the state-owned entity that runs a major port at Kandla in Gujarat, on Wednesday scrapped a tender to privatize one of its cargo berths from handling fertilizers and other clean cargo after Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone Limited (APSEZ) emerged the lone bidder to submit a price quotation for the project. The tender was discharged because APSEZ was disqualified and the Gujarat High Court has not given any verdict on the case as on today, said the officials briefed on the tender. The timeline for submitting the price quotation on the tender went through 15 extensions. APSEZ was disqualified by the Deendayal Port Authority due to tender conditions that forbids firm involved in contract termination at other ports for participating. A coal handling terminal run by unit of APSEZ at Visakhapatnam Port Authority was terminated in December 2020, a few years into its 30 years contract. Following a petition filed by the APSEZ seeking to revise its disqualifications, the Gujarat High Court directed the Port Authority to accept the price bid of the company and decide on it subject to outcome to court verdict. We given 15 extensions, but none of the pre-qualified bidders submitted the price bid except for APSEZ. Because of the court direction, we accepted their offer, but it was not open due to the disqualification and there is no final order from the court as of today, the officials said. So we discharged the tender. Besides, nobody is participating in the price bid as all the pre-qualified bidders have asked the Port Authority to modify and restructure the tender by including some infrastructure facilities in the project to help them perform on the contract, is stated. Repeatedly extending the deadline of the submitting price bid would be a national loss, he said, adding that if the tender is delayed, the project will be delayed. We decided not to wait anymore and discharge the tender, he said. A single bid is typically not entertained by the public authority due to the rules framed by the Central Vigilance Commission (CVC), though some relaxations have been introduced by the government in recent months to deal such instance. The Port Authority will float a fresh tender for the project after restructuring the project scope, the officials said. The privatization of the berth number 14 at the Deendayal Port is part of the government's national monetization pipeline that seeks to disinvest operational infrastructure assets through the public-private partnership route. The privatized berths will have a capacity to handle 5.6 million tons of cargo and entitled to investment of 300 crores. The Port Authority initially disqualified APSEZ from bidding for the project, citing that the government's monopoly policy as it was running a dry bulk terminal at Tuna Takra, a satellite port of the Deendayal Port Authority located some 15 kilometers away. Following a legal challenge, the Gujarat High Court asked the Port Authority to give APSEZ a personal hearing on the matter and offer reasons for its exclusion from the tender. During this process, the Port Authority decided not to disqualify APSEZ from the tender on monopoly grounds in the view of some technical points raised by the firm on handling bagged cargo. The court was not convinced about the disqualification of the APSEZ due to monopoly policy as the Port Authority had included bagged cargo also in the berth 14 tender, whereas the bagged cargo was not covered in the Tuna Tekra dry bulk terminal contract. But APSEZ was again disqualified due to the contract termination at Visakhapatnam Port Authority. APSEZ challenged the disqualification in the Gujarat High Court, which allows the firms to submit a price bid and direct the Port Authority to receive it and decide on it subject to the final order of the court. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.
Find the real me. So let's go.